So now that we have a basic understanding of variables in Java, let us see how classes work in Java. Because the first basic thing in Java is for you to understand the object-oriented programming concept. So in this program, I have a class home that has a main method. Now a Java program runs from the main method. Now this main method can be found in any class. So what is an object? Let's dive in. So now if you look at the source folder of this program over here, I have one class called home. So let me create another class. I'll right click, I'll go to new Java class. I'll call this class dog. So now if you look at the left, I have a class called home and a class called dog. This class dog is empty, but I want to give it some attributes and actions. Or in other words, I want to give it some variables and methods. So let's say this dog has a name. So what will be the type of the name of the dog? Looking at what we learned earlier, the type of the name will be string, because it's going to be a text. String name. And the age of the dog. The age of the dog will be of type int age. And let's work with that. So let's look at the actions of the dog. So let's have a variable. So let's have a method backing. So I can say public void backing. And we'll say public void sleeping. So once this is called, what should it do? I can print out, hey, the dog is barking. So in IntelliJ, the shortcut to bring out system.out.println is to write SOUT. Kinda cool, huh? So I can say the dog is barking. Then in sleeping, I do the same thing. The dog is sleeping. Now, for you to understand this, a class is just a blueprint. What is a blueprint? Have you seen the blueprint of a house before it is built? Now, you can have a blueprint of a car as well. A blueprint itself is not the car. It is the design of the car to be built. Now look at classes as blueprints. This is saying when you want to create an object, dog, let it have the characteristics, name and age, and let that object be able to bark and sleep. So right now, there is no object dog. There's only a design. Look at classes as a blueprint. So now how do I create an object of this dog? Because right now, there is no dog. There's only a design. So I can go to my main method in home. Because when I run this program, nothing comes out because there's nothing inside the main method. So over here, remember that when you want to create a new variable, you put the type first. So if I wanted to create an integer, I'll say int x is equal to 7. So this is the type of the variable, and this is the variable name, and this is the value of the variable. So when creating an object, we use the same structure. But watch this. So I want to create a new object of dog. So I can say dog. Dog is now a type because I have created a class called dog. And since I want to create an object of type dog, I will first say dog because this is going to be the type of the variable. So I'll say dog. I can give it any name. Spooky is equal to new dog. So I'm saying there's a variable called spooky and it has a type dog. Assign it the value of a new dog. New is a keyword in Java used to create a new instance of a class. So dog itself is just a design. So new is saying, okay, build me up this class into an object. So create me a new object from this class. Because a blueprint can be used to develop different objects. So for example, if you're familiar with brands of cars, or let's use phone. Let's use an iPhone. Let's say iPhone X. You have a standard blueprint of an iPhone X. But from that blueprint, you can create thousands of phones, all using the same design. So what new is saying is create me another object from this design. So I can have a dog, Spooky. I can have another dog, Spark, is equal to new dog. So I'm saying I have two dogs now created from the same design. That does not mean these two dogs will have the same name. It just means they have the same structural design. Now, in the structural design dog, I have a name and an age. That just means Spooky and Spark both have a name and an age. It does not mean they have the same name and age. It just means they have the same design. A dog has a name and an age. Now, I can set the name of Spooky. I can say Spooky dot age. So I'm saying get me the age of Spooky and assign it a value of 4. I can say get me the age of Spark and assign it to 7. I can also say Spooky dot backing and I can say Spark dot backing. Now remember that all this is inside home and in the main method. So I can have other classes and call them from another class. So if I run this, it says dog is barking, dog is barking. The first dog is barking is caused by Spooky's barking. The second dog is barking is caused by Spark's barking. Now both of them print out the same thing because I put in the design that whichever object calls barking, we should print out the dog is barking. So whether I created Spooky or Spark, both of them will have the same action once barking. Once this action is called, once this method is called, both of them or any object will print out the same thing. But this is left open, name and age. They can have different names and ages. So Spooky.name, we can set it to Spooky. Spark.name, set it to. And if you notice, I'm setting the right data types. So age is an integer if you come here, an age is int, and I told you int represents whole numbers, so I'm giving it whole numbers. A string represents text. Normally it's in between a quotation. In fact, if I put a number in between a quotation, it becomes a text. So if I do this, it automatically becomes a text. And you can see a red line. It's saying, hey, I requested for a whole number and you're giving me a text. So this is the same as this because they are both text. But what it wants is a whole number. And also, I can give it a decimal digit like 5.74 because an age is a whole number. That is why we made an age integer. So a request for a whole number like 5. So we can come here. Remember that all this is still in the main method, because some mistakes people do, especially beginner, is to put code in the home outside a method. You don't put, apart from variable initialization like int x is equal to sig 4 or whatever, you don't put things like system.out.println. So I can't do this. I can do this inside here, but you don't do this in the class. So you don't do this. You put this inside the method. So we'll put this here. So they can say Spark's age is, you can give a little bit space here and say spark.age. Now Spark's age is 7. So when we run this, it will show backing, and Spark's age. And there you have it. Spark's age is 7. So over here you have your variables and your methods, and we can access them here. We'll perform more examples in following tutorials. If you like this tutorial, give it a thumbs up and expect more wonderful tutorials like this.